Have you ever been caught shoplifting during your shoplifting intervention? I need to explain something first. I'm a loss prevention specialist now, and I've been clean from my shoplifting addiction for 4 years. But when I was 22, I was deep in it. What started as stealing food when I was broke turned into a compulsion I couldn't control. I'd steal things I didn't even need, just for the rush. Rock bottom came in the most ironic way possible. I'd finally admitted I had a problem after getting caught at Target and receiving a court-ordered diversion program instead of jail time. Part of my sentence included attending shoplifting intervention classes every Tuesday at the community center. Week 3 of the program, our counselor Diane assigned us to visit stores and practice resistance techniques. We were supposed to walk through, acknowledge our triggers, and leave without taking anything. She called it exposure therapy. I thought I was ready. I drove to a Walgreens I'd never stolen from before. Figured neutral territory would be easier. Walked in with my worksheet, ready to identify my triggers and leave. The cosmetics aisle was my weakness. All those tiny expensive items that fit so easily in pockets. I stood there, breathing through the urge like Diane taught us. That's when I noticed her. A girl, maybe 16, nervously hovering by the nail polish. She kept glancing at the cameras, picking up bottles and putting them back. I recognized every move because I'd made them myself 100 times. She was psyching herself up to steal. Without thinking, I approached her. Hey, those cameras actually work here, I said quietly, and they prosecute everyone, even first-timers. Her face went white. I know exactly what you were doing, I said, and trust me, it's not worth it. I'm literally in court-ordered classes for this right now. She started crying. Turned out her friends had dared her to steal something to prove she was cool. Classic peer pressure scenario. I spent 10 minutes telling her about my arrest, the humiliation, the permanent record, the thousands in fines. She put the nail polish back and left. I felt good about it, like maybe my mess could help someone else. I was so caught up in that feeling, I didn't notice my hand had unconsciously slipped a lip gloss into my pocket while I was talking to her. It was like my body acted on autopilot, the compulsion stronger than my conscious mind. I only realized it when I was checking out, buying a water bottle to prove I could enter and exit normally. The lip gloss shifted in my pocket. My blood went cold, but instead of putting it back, my brain rationalized, it's just one thing. I just saved that girl from ruining her life. I deserve this. I walked toward the exit, water bottle receipt in hand. That's when I heard it. Ma'am, I need you to stop right there. The security guard was young, maybe 25, looked tired. He asked me to empty my pockets. The lip gloss fell out. $7 of strawberry-scented stupidity that was about to destroy everything. I have a receipt, I said weakly, holding up the water bottle bag. Not for that, he said. The manager appeared, then the police. As they were processing me in the back office, I had to tell them I was currently in a diversion program for the exact same crime. The look of disgust on the officer's face still haunts me. The worst part was calling Diane, my counselor who'd vouched for me to the judge, who'd written letters about my progress. She arrived within an hour, and the disappointment in her eyes was worse than any jail sentence. I talked a kid out of stealing, I told her desperately. I was doing good, and then it just happened. That's the addiction talking, she said. You used a good deed to justify a crime. Classic relapse behavior. Because I violated my diversion, I faced real jail time. But Diane went to bat for me one more time. She convinced the judge to give me intensive therapy instead, 3 times a week, plus 200 hours of community service specifically working with youth shoplifting prevention. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. I had to stand in front of teenage shoplifters and tell them how I'd literally been caught stealing while in a program for stealing. You'd think they'd laugh, but most of them just looked scared. Because if someone in treatment could relapse that easily, what hope did they have? That failure became my turning point though. Diane made me analyze every second of that day. How I'd put myself in a high-risk situation alone. How helping that girl gave me an emotional high that triggered my need for another rush. How my addiction brain used altruism as an excuse. It's been 4 years clean now. I work in loss prevention. And yes, the irony is intentional. Every day I watch for shoplifters, and every day I remember being one. When I catch someone, especially young people, I always offer them the truth about where that path leads. Sometimes I tell them about the day I caught myself catching someone else, and still couldn't stop my own hand from stealing. Recovery isn't a straight line. Sometimes you fall backwards in the most embarrassing, ironic ways possible. But if you're lucky, someone like Diane believes in you anyway.